Welcome to another edition of Palmer's Pit. I'm Jeff, and this is the Logan. Today, we're going to look at his Series 1 LJN collection. He finally completed it after his birthday celebration last weekend. So let's take a look at each figure one by one. Show him this one, Logan. There he is, Superfly Jimmy Snuka. He was
the hottest superstar before Hogan comes.
Definitely. People were just packing all of the arenas to see him have a feud with the Hot Rod. Roddy Piper. Plus, Snuka had some other classic feuds, including his one with Don Morocco, which was really the fantastic one. And it was the catalyst to get Mick Foley to get into pro wrestling. That match, steel cage match in Madison Square Garden, where Snuka jumped off the top of the cage.
Yeah. And one time he missed, I think.
He did miss. He did miss against Bob Backlund. All right. So there is the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka.
He can fly.
So I like the Snuka figure. I thought that it was simple, but pretty detailed. And I really enjoyed this figure. Okay, let's take a look at your next figure.
Whoa.
Ooh, Big John stud. Now, for some reason, even though this was a simple figure, I always liked the Big John stud. I thought it really looked like the figure. It looked like the wrestler in real life.
Yeah, and as you know, this is the baddest part.
Yeah, that part, the knees are what usually wears the quickest on these wrestlers.
You know what you could do? You could comment down below if we need to repaint a little bit here.
We did touch it up when we first got it, didn't we?
Yeah, but we need another one. So just comment down below if you want us to repaint it in a video.
Yeah, we could do that.
So.
Okay, so there is Big John Stud. All right, and who's next? Oh, now you know what, Log?
Yeah.
We got this for a really cheap price.
Maybe $3.
I can't remember. It was not very much.
$3.
$3. But you know what?
He was in rough
shape, and we really did not a bad job at getting him.
We had to get Mod Podge we had to print out the thing, get Mod Podge, put it on.
And we had to paint basically him completely over.
Yeah.
But you know what? The skin tone was not too bad. It was his boots and his trunks and his shirt was in bad shape.
And a foot that my grandma fixed.
Yes, his grandma fixed that because it was in bad shape. But we got it to look decent. There's your Hot Rod, Roddy Piper figure.
And comment down below if we need to repaint just a little bit. Just comment down below, and we can do that one in a video too.
Okay, who's our next figure from Series 1 LJN?
Well, this one was a really bad figure. They thought the one with the strap was good, but it was supposed to be a bad guy, and you know what he did? Smile.
Yeah, that was a later series. They tried to rectify the situation of having Andre look too serious. And the problem with that is he was smiling in the series in which they have him as a bad guy. And when he's a good guy, which is this series, they have him have a face that's kind of not such a happy face. So
it looks like at the other one when he was smiling, it looks like he's serving somebody a chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is Andre. Who's our next figure?
Oh, he is the immortal Hulk Hogan.
Hogan was red hot, as we all know, and started the Hulkamania phase. By defeating the Iron Sheik in Madison Square Garden in January 1984. And this figure is simple, but it's iconic.
That gold color.
Yeah, the gold and red.
And when he comes, his mustache was in bad shape. And look at that now. It looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, you did a nice job with repainting this one.
I did that all by myself.
He did do that all by himself. Okay, now let's take a look at the other guy that you were just showing.
Yes. He is the Iron Sheik.
Listen, you have to have a very good bad guy to make the good guy look good. And the Iron Sheik was hated by all of pro wrestling fans at the time. And when Hogan beat him for the title, the crowd went crazy.
And because when he was a really entertaining bad guy, and especially when he was with this guy.
Ah, another figure from the original Series 1, Nikolai Volkov. Now, I like Volkov. I think they did a nice job with his face as far as making him look mean and nasty. And back then, the Soviet Union was not very popular in the United States, and he always bragged about being a member of the USSR, the Soviet Union. Okay, so they were a great tag team as well.
They were great.
I like the details in the Iron Sheik, how they have the little gold paint in his trunks, and I like how they had his boots curl up a little bit. It was really good, and Iran on the side of his trunks. It was a nice figure,
Yeah.
and together you're looking at two of the best villains of the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one,
Let's go.
and I was very holy.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Now that we've talked about them. Oh, now this guy was popular.
Yeah. We talked about him in
A little
our
bit.
first video 1 month ago.
JYD. And you know what? This was in good shape because we still had the original print on his trunks and his boot. Really cool figure.
And we got this more cheaper than Piper, $2.
Yeah, we did. We got him for a good price.
And he shocked me when he comes.
Yeah, he was, you know, he was so popular because he had feuds with Terry Funk. He had feuds with Harley Race.
That we talked about in another video.
That's right. So make sure you go back and see some of the other videos we've already made.
Like the 1 month ago with
Yeah. So here's Junkyard Dog. And okay, then our last figure in this series is
Hillbilly Jim.
I really like this figure. I know that he might not have been as famous as the other wrestlers, but you know what? He was Hulk Hogan's first protege when Hogan started getting really hot back in the mid 80s. And he was a fan that was in the arena, in the seats, and Hogan brought him in and trained him to be a wrestler. And you know, I know his character might today be considered a little hokey and a little bit we say cheesy. But you know what? He fit the times. He was in the Hulk Hogan Rock and Wrestling cartoon.
And what is it called? The Hillbillies.
The Hillbillies. Look at the detail. I think the detail's great.
Yeah, but Uncle Elmer's more better.
Well, there's no Uncle Elmer figure though.
Yeah, but I like Uncle.
So there is Hillbilly Jim.
I think Uncle Elmer should be.
So, Lo, that's all the Series 1 figures. Tell me, of these, which one is your favorite? Now, listen to the question. Which of these figures is your favorite wrestler that you thought was the most entertaining? Not the best looking figure, but which one was your favorite wrestler of the ones we saw today?
Probably Big John.
So Big John Studd was your favorite actual wrestler right here. But then the next question I'm going to ask you, which of these figures in Series 1 do you think looks the best and has the best detail?
That's a tough one. Should comment down below.
No, they can comment all they want, but I want to know what your opinion is.
Yeah, there's a lot of details in the Series 1, guys. But I'm going to go with the Sheik.
The Sheik. And I can't disagree with you. Sheik is a classic.
Come on. let's do the LJNs. Okay, now I'm gonna do it with this guy here. So which one is the best wrestler? Like there.
Well, there's no question.
Hulk Hogan.
By far, he was the most popular, and you still had to put him up there today of all time.
About the best LJN
Of this series.
Oh.
I'm going to go back, and I just think he looks great. I think he looks like Hillbilly Jim. I like the colors of the figure. He was really a good figure. Although I'm going to tell you, Sheik, in my opinion, he could be number one as well. I really like that figure.
Like, which the best details? Oh, which wrestler has the best details?
Of these figures, I would have to say the Sheik and Hillbilly. There are some flaws in those, although like I said, I like Volkov's face. He really gives you that sense of being an angry bad guy.
If you agree with the Sheik and Volkov thing that he sent at you, that he gave you that question, he answered, comment down below if you agree. And if you like it, say, do a next video of a next repaint of the JYD or Piper or Big John Stud.
That sounds like a good idea. But now listen, next time we're going to be looking at the Series 2 figures of the LJN collection. But until then, that's all we have for you today on this edition of Palmer's Pit. Make sure you like us. Make sure you comment. Give us your opinion. And subscribe.
You can't forget this. Subscribe. And tell your buddies, other friends of yours, to watch this video of Palmer's Pit. And yeah, there's no question.
Okay, so long.
Bye-bye.